Hello, boys and girls. Today's math is a little bit different. And so I'm going to do a lot of it with you. So utilize this as your tool. Today we are creating line plots. Line plots are a graphic organizer. They have a straight horizontal line. And much like a number line, they're going to have a starting point and an ending point. We need to look at our data, and so it says the chart to the right shows the distance fourth graders in Miss Smith's class were able to run before stopping for a rest. Create a line plot. So first, with any graphic organizer, we need a title. Fourth grade run distance. Now, we need to look at the distances in miles. I'm seeing 2 holes, 1 hole, 2 holes, 1 hole, 2 holes, 2 holes, 2 holes. Ooh, 0 holes, 2 and 2. So my line plot is going to be between 0 and 3. And then I'm going to put a 1 and a 2 in the middle. Now looking at these are all where you can make equivalent fractions. So 2.5, we know where that goes. I'm going to put a 2.5 right here, and then to show it on a line plot, I'm going to put 1x, and this one is done. I forgot, we need to label this. This is distance ran in miles. Joe could run 2.5 miles before stopping. Ariana, 1 3/4. So if I have here's 1.5, then here would be 1 1/4, 1 3/4. So here is Ariana. I put an X above it. 2 1/8. I know that's going to be close to my 2. Put an X above it. 1 5/8. I know 5/8 is a little bit bigger than half because 4/8 is half. So 1 5/8, I'll put right there, put that X above it. 2 5/8. Ooh, my brain is thinking the same thing. A little bit bigger than half. 2 5/8, put the X. 2 1/4. Well, I see what I have plotted already, and that would be right in the middle, 2 1/4. 2 2/4. Oh, my brain is thinking 2/4 is equivalent to half. So this time, I would add an X right above the 2.5 because it is the same equivalent to it. 5/8. Well, here's my half. It's a little bit bigger than half. Jenny must have been tired that day. Anson, 2 1/4. Oh, I said it out loud. I gave away the answer. My brain is thinking 2/8, if I divided by 2 halves, would be like 1/4. So I can plop another X right above there. And now Chandra can run 2 4/8. 4 is half of 8 right here. The reason we make line plots is to look for data that's the same. And we're also looking at ranges. The least amount run is 5/8. The most run is 2 5/8. The distance that was run the most often was 2.5. Do you see the kind of data we're getting from this? Now, based on our line plot, you are going to answer questions about it. So, who ran a mile farther than Jenny? I'm going to look at Jenny. Jenny ran 5/8. So 1 more mile would be 1 5/8. Looking, Morgan did. Who ran a mile less than Jack? So let's go back. Jack ran 2 5/8, a mile less. We're talking about Morgan again. I have a cousin named Morgan. It's her birthday tomorrow, I think. 2 students ran exactly 2 1/4 miles. Identify the students. How many quarter miles did each student run? Let's first look for the students. So 2 1/4 is Sasha. And remember, 2 2/8 was like it, and Anson. So we're going to write down Sasha and Anson. Now they say, how many quarter miles did each student run? Well, they both ran 2 1/4. So here is one hole, here is another hole, and then a quarter more. If I count up each individual quarter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quarter miles. What is the difference in mile between the longest and shortest run? I remember the longest run was 2 5/8. I remember the shortest run was 5/8. That equals 2 holes. Compare the distance run by Ariana and Morgan. I'm remembering Morgan is 1 5/8. Let's look up Ariana. Ariana is 1 3/4. My brain can't see it. I'm going to change my 3/4 to eighths. Oh, that's 1 6/8. Ariana is greater than Morgan. Just 3 more. Ms. Smith ran twice as far as Jenny. How far did Ms. Smith run? Write her distance as a mixed number. Jenny ran 5/8. So I could do 5/8 times 5/8, or excuse me, good gravy, Mrs. Anderson, plus 5/8, that's twice as far. I could also do 5/8 times 2. Both would give me 10/8. But they want a mixed number, so I got to break it down now. That leaves me with 1 2/8. Mr. Reynolds ran 1 3/10 miles. Use greater than, less than, or equal to compare the distance Mr. Reynolds ran to the distance that Miss Smith ran. Who ran farther? 1 3/10. 1 2/8. Which is bigger? So he ran a little bit further. If I were to draw a picture, this 3/10 would be a smidgen further. Finally, using the information in the table and on the line plot, develop and write a question similar to those above. Solve, and then ask your partner to solve. You know what? I just gave you the whole problem set as a Friday gift. Now, I need you to do number 3 alone. We're going to use these questions during our chat time this afternoon. The only work you need to do now is number 3 and the exit ticket. Can't wait to see you.